Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't know.
I have no clue. What the hell was that?
It was the first. It's the first thing YouTube suggested to me, so I just went with it.
I thought it was like a Star press conference or something.
No, it was just some. It was some people eating like spicy noodles or something. But hola amigos, and welcome to Mark Out Mania.
Yeah.
We've got James Extreme Spicy.
What's his name?
What's his name? Yeah, what's his name?
AKA Jim House.
What's
How's it
up?
going?
What's up? I'm
doing,
okay.
Jim?
Everything's doing all right. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do it, baby.
When was the last time you ever had ramen noodles, James?
Well, I can't eat that anymore,
ago.
but
Yeah, I know.
at least 10 years ago.
Did you ever have a favorite ramen noodles?
No, just plain ramen noodles. I'm not eating spicy noodles while being filmed. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, what was that? Whoa.
You should just get a bowl of Rice Krispies and put the mic next to it. It'll be better.
It's my God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark. How are you?
Good. I've
is,
had ramen recently, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you have
no shame.
You have a favorite shop, a favorite kind of ramen you like to get?
Well, I mean, I used to love that place in Greensboro. When I was still living there, that place was amazing. I believe it was Tampopo.
Oh wow.
Was the name of the restaurant. It's the same movie about udon noodles, but yeah, their ramen, because they had the pork bone broth, they had the miso broth, they had they had several styles, they had chashu pork, toppings, and it's just really good, and then an amazing chili paste to go on it is really good.
Brutal. I can hear my arteries. It's just getting clogged.
But yeah, I mean, and then I made some instant recently. So I still miss that garden vegetable, or they changed it from garden vegetable to chicken vegetable for some reason. I don't know why. And then it disappeared.
You guys are eating ramen, and like I'm drinking right now. I'm having low sodium V8. So look at that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Fantastic.
It's been a little while since I've had ramen. I try to avoid it if I can. So I do like it, but I mean it's just not good for people.
Well, yeah, it's just all salt.
Do y'all have a good place down there you've ever been to, Pedro?
No. There are lots of places in the Houston area. Of course, there's a place that's supposed to open in the future here in Huntsville. We're going to have an actual ramen place, so Stephanie and I are excited about it. There's a place in Conroe that we went to a few months ago. You might remember that Dragon Bowl C. It was like a Dragon Ball themed ramen noodle place.
Dragon Bowl C? That's funny.
Yeah, that's what it's called, Dragon Bowl C. Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Of course, I like it, but
Nah, I'm just no ramen noodles here. There are places down here, but I don't dare walk into them. You know.
Don't do it. Don't
Nah,
do it.
because I'll be like a crackhead. I'll go crazy.
You'll get all the good stuff.
Yeah, and then I'll be paying for it like an hour later. You know.
But you are an addict for wrestling still, right, James?
Yes, I am. I still watch it, Pedro Zeus. You know what I'm saying?
Pedro Zeus.
I still watch wrestling. I just don't watch anything from the last 20 years anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you either these days, because I'm not happy with SmackDown last night, because they've been putting on a pretty good show as of late.
Tell us about Money in the Bank from last weekend before you get to SmackDown. You
Well,
gotta build up to it.
I thought Money in the Bank was pretty good. That crowd in the UK was ridiculous. The crowd was hot. LA Knight is the most over guy right now outside of Rhea Ripley in the WWE. He is so over. They're loving him. It was good. I kind of like both Money in the Bank ladder match. Both the men's and the women's were okay. You know, although I wanted LA Knight to win, I had a feeling Damian Priest was going to win, and he won. But you had the Ricochet and Logan Paul spot. It was okay. The crowd was booing the shit out of Logan Paul, as they should. Yeah, because he's the outsider.
Right.
And a scumbucket.
Right, exactly. So they were booing the shit out of him. Every time LA Knight threw a punch, the whole crowd was going, yeah, yeah. So it was hot. It was hot. It was good. It was good. Then you had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, was also pretty interesting. It was okay. I gave a big star to Zoe Stark, because she took some ridiculous bumps. Trish Stratus should no longer ever be in another Money in the Bank ladder match ever again. It's just not for her. And fucking Becky Lynch broke her nose or her face or whatever you want to call it.
Oh no! Again?
Yeah. It was the ladder. Then she got hit with one of the ladders and fucked up the bridge of her nose. So it was okay. It was a good match. Obviously Io Sky won. It was good. I like the whole her and Becky and the whole her and Bailey dynamic with the suitcase now. So it's pretty cool how they're doing it. It's a little twist on it because of that. But other than that, it was okay. The crowd. The crowd was more the star than the actual matches were. Okay, because it was a ho-hum show.
I saw a lot of people praising the Bloodline Civil War main event. Was that any good?
It was good. It was.
Okay, was it the angle stuff that made it good, or was it legitimately? It
was legitimately good, and the angle stuff that made it good, and Roman ate the fucking pin.
Right. Yeah.
So it was good.
Hadn't done in nearly 3 years, right?
Right. Yeah. So it was good that he ate the pin. And finally, because now it made it count. It wasn't some random thing out of nowhere. Like Okada tapping out to Bryan Danielson. It wasn't just random. This pin actually meant something. So it was good in that sense. It was good. And the crowd was letting Roman have it. So it was good. It was good.
That SmackDown I went to in Greensboro, that was February 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Roman was still babyface at that time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Lock and change.
Yeah. He doesn't turn heel till the late summer or fall of 2020. Yeah.
Actually, I think Raw's in Buffalo this Monday, Zeus, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
Did not know that.
Yeah, But
Get your Markout Mania Media Pass ready. Get down there.
But it was a pretty good show. I mean, it wasn't, it was good. It was good. Was it spectacular? No, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't a fan of the the whole. I felt the whole match with Oscar was rushed. I felt like a lot of things were rushed. Because like the Money in the Bank is because the actual Money in the Bank matches took up so much time. But everything else was all right. It was okay. I give it a B plus. The crowd made the show. So
yeah, y'all heard what Kevin Nash said this past week, right?
No, what did you say?
He said Eli Drake is nothing but a rock ripoff.
Yeah, that's everybody's saying that. And
he's just like everything he's doing. It's so popular. Is
and you know what? Fuck it. If it works, it works. Why not?
I mean that's part of the thing too. I think when the fans don't, when you're doing that and the fans don't like it, they let you know.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But he's incredibly over.
Yeah, I mean, I see people complaining about, not using him or not, doing this and this with him.
Well, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Your last night was a huge SmackDown at the Garden in fucking New York, right? You're in Madison Square Garden, and your hottest babyface, your biggest babyface, your top babyface, you leave off TV. He's in a dark match before the show? That doesn't make sense. Then you open up the show with a 35-minute bloodline angle, which actually everything that happened in that 35 minutes could have been done in 5 minutes. A lot of all of them just standing around, all of them just looking at each other, all of them not saying anything, and each of them holding mics in their hand, but nobody's saying anything. It was so long and so drawn out that all the other matches suffered for it. Because there was only 3 matches on the card. And then you go back to it to close off the show. The last 10 minutes, you do the same exact thing. The same exact thing. And Roman even said it in the ring live. He goes, we didn't get it right the first time, so we're going to try this again.
Yeah.
He literally said that.
Yeah.
And that was drawn out. So, I've actually been praising the SmackDown shows lately because they've been pretty decent shows lately as of late. They've been good shows. And this was just a total wow, hello, and you're at the Garden? Yeah. This should have been one of your best shows of the year. And horrible. No LA Knight, obnoxiously long, unnecessary, 35-minute long segment to open the show. And then because of that, the AJ Mass carrying Cross match actually suffered. It was like a minute and a half. Totally squashed Cross.
Oh, God.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Total squash. It was. I was so disappointed last time. I was so disappointed last time. I was like, I see why Lucius is watching 80s and shit. Come on.
Yeah, I the only wrestling I watched this week was from the 80s too.
I'm the only nincompoop still watching today's bullshit.
No.
It was horrible. I was so disappointed last night. I was like, wow, this was not what I expected. I was actually pumped up for the show. I actually made it a point to sit down and pay attention to SmackDown because it could be all because it was coming off the pay-per-view and because it was in the garden, so you knew. I was expecting surprises, some run-ins, some shit to go down. Flat show, very flat show.
But James, you're holding back on us. You did not tell us your reaction to your girl winning the women's tag titles again on last weekend.
Well, well, I congratulate Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan for winning the World Tag Team titles after Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey, and then they still make Ronda Rousey the heel. I love it. Yeah, because she's just horrible. And I'm gonna give kudos to Shayna Baszler on her promo, because as soon as Ronda Rousey grabbed the mic on the following Raw, she comes out and says, "Nobody wants to hear you talk on the mic, and you suck." I was like, "Oh, that was hot." But yeah, I am happy to see the belt around that gorgeous waist of Raquel. Good job. So like hopefully they'll keep it there. I want her to go on the program with fucking Rhea Ripley. I want them to do exactly what they did in NXT, which is tear the house down. But I know they're not going to do it. But
what are they doing with Rhea Ripley? Like I know she's super over. I'm not debating that part.
She just finished beating the shit out of Natalya. I think they're trying to get her involved with the whole Seth Rollins thing, with the whole Judgment Day going after Seth Rollins. So that will lead into a mixed tag team with him and Becky Lynch and Dom and her.
Oh, so maybe they'll do Rhea and Becky off of that? Or?
Yeah.
They just don't seem to be set. They're setting her up. They're putting her in a lot of situations against guys, right? Or some form against guys, but they're not building up anything for her against women. But she's the women's champion.
Right. They keep cheesing her and Raquel.
Okay.
They had a little backstage segment here and there, but it's being teased. But, I mean, just go for it. Do the whole fucking Falls Count Anywhere match again. That shit was awesome. They beat the shit out of each other. I loved it. So, I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know. She doesn't have a real feud with any woman right now. There's no feud. There's no, all she's doing is hanging out with Prison Dom. They're doing stupid shit, But it's over. Everybody's loving it.
It said there's some footage of Cena talking to Ripley away from everything, like backstage or something. And
there was some footage of Cena and her in the back at Money in the Bank. And it was shot far away to make it look like it was done some spy shit. And John Cena's trying to tell her things, and it looked like Rhea Ripley's just blowing them off,
Yeah.
So he was probably telling her to give Raquel a shot. Come on. You guys would draw, it'd be good money. Come on. Because, she physically dominates everybody else, so put her in a ring with Raquel.
Yeah. Well, and then, I mean, who else is on her brand that she can have a match with anyway? Because
exactly. Because everybody else on SmackDown.
Yeah, because I mean, if they don't do something, that's just a recipe for we're about to take the title away from you.
Exactly.
If you got nothing going on,
and you got to do something, because you got Flair, you got Bianca Belair and Asuka over on SmackDown. So it's not like you can go into a feud with one of those, So either do it with Becky or do it with Raquel, because nobody else really.
And we all know James wants to do it with Raquel.
Woo!
He starts playing that Raspberry song. Damn.
No, but again, I was disappointed last night in the SmackDown show. I was not happy at the Garden. I mean, the crowd was good, so I just don't get it. Horrible.
Did you go get to see shows at Madison Square Garden
Yeah.
back in the day?
Oh yeah. But there was no Raw and SmackDown back then. Well, I didn't go. Right.
What are you telling
I
me?
didn't go.
Yeah, like who are the two people you were telling this to?
No, but I told you because I actually went to go see War to Settle the Score. I was there for that. Hogan and Cyndi Lauper and all that shit. That was a surprise. I didn't know I was going to that, but I saw a lot of shows. I saw Jimmy Snuka go fly off the top rope. I saw Big John Studd get body slammed.
So,
I saw.
Were you there for the Snuka Morocco cage match?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, whoa.
No.
Did you see Don Morocco in the Garden?
Yes, I did.
Oh wow!
I saw him. I saw him and Tito Santana go to a 30-minute draw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I saw a match. It was Jumbo Saruta and Dick Slater.
Oh,
nice.
From like the end of one of the earliest. I think they said it was the finals of one of the earliest All Japan, Carnival.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it when it was? It had a different name in the 70s before it was the Champions Carnival. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah, but like Murdoch had like one eye taped up, and this was before he started putting on, that belly.
Yeah.
And he was freaking phenomenal. I mean, I was like, holy shit, he was good. It was like 78 or something like that. I was like, I did not ever remember Dick Slater being that good.
Well, they said it was good. They've always said he was good. The problem was his attitude.
I knew he was. I knew he was an excellent guy, but I mean, to be able to kind of do that, to have a good match,
well, people with Jumbo Saruta at that,
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not a brawl at all. It was
no. It's funny you said that idea because I was watching a match on YouTube the other day of Hogan versus Antonio Inoki. And
Hogan in Japan much better than Hogan anywhere
Hogan
else.
in Japan was stiff. He didn't give me beating the shit out of people, man. And fucking Inoki was like getting his ass kicked. I was like, holy shit. I mean, Hogan was throwing him around like it was like nothing.
Yeah, he would hit that. He hit the the abdominal stretch and the short arm scissors.
Yeah, he was doing all kinds of shit. I was like, look at this guy. Where was this guy at?
Well, he only wrestled like that where he had to.
He went to the Kevin Nash school of doing the bare minimum after he came back. Horrible. But yeah, my favorite match was in the Garden. I saw Don Morocco versus fucking Bob Backlund.
Nice.
Remember Morocco was a face, he became The Rock.
Yeah.
Right. So, but back then, and him and Backlund put on a clinic, man. It was a house show at the Garden. And Backlund was already past his prime and all that shit, but like he put on a clinic, a wrestling clinic.
It's crazy too because Backlund's still in amazing shape at 60.
Yeah.
Or 61, however old he is right now. But it's just like he's just he's got to be older now. He's got to be like 62 or something.
Yeah, he's up there. But
anyway, I mean, I think kind of the after. I think after losing the title, I think that just might have.
He's 73.
What's that?
He's 73.
73. Yeah, still in phenomenal shape at 73. And I think it was probably just he might have just been a little burnt out or just emotionally drained or whatever. After that run, that 5-year run as champion, because I mean, he basically disappeared. He certainly didn't go to, the AWA or the NWA.
Well,
Didn't go to any other territory.
You got to remember too, way back then, when he was champion, he would go to the AWA for a show, and they would have those title versus title matches all over the place. Remember those?
Yeah, but that's like once a year, if that. So
I mean, him and Harley Race had one, him and Flair had one, him and Bronco had one. Yeah.
He did do a tiny bit in Japan in the late '80s, because I've seen some of that stuff. But
when he was burnt out after that 5-year run.
83 is when he lost the title to Sheik.
Yeah.
So
remember when he was running with Sheik, he came back as a heel? I was like, what the hell is this? That was one of the most confusing storylines. I was like, what is this? Like, why is Bob Backlund with the Iron Sheik?
Yeah, there was a lot of weirdness going on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I remember, I had my late teen years, I was dating this girl from school. Her father used to work at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
So he would get tickets for like all kinds of shit, like the circus, like basketball games, the hockey games, like the Knicks, the Rangers, and the WWF. So we would try to go as often as we can,
Yeah.
So.
What is the circus like in the Madison Square Garden? I can't even imagine.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I saw it once when I was a kid. It was amazing. Amazing. I don't even think they do it anymore in the garden.
Yeah, I think a lot of those things got shut down after all that backlash.
Yeah. But it was amazing, man. It was amazing. I saw Piper at the Garden. I saw so many people. It was amazing. I've had good seats, and I sat all the way in the back and the last row on the top. It didn't matter. I had a great time. It was awesome. Awesome. I was at the war that settled the score. The whole shit with Sidney Lockefer and MTV, and when the Piper came and hit the fucking Lou Albano over the head with the record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Piper liked hitting people with things, didn't he?
Oh yeah. I loved booing the shit out of Piper. It was awesome because he was the man, And he was the man. Him and Greg Valentine. I used to love Greg Valentine. He was awesome back then. He was the bootleg Flair.
I got him mutually. He has these polls, and he does these like poll tournaments, and like right now he's doing a tournament of do you think so and so should have been world champion or not? And he just did Greg Valentine, and it was actually really close because I was like, no. I never saw him as a world champion, but it was about 50-50 early on.
Valentine only got as high as the U.S. champ, and then WWF he was in the Continental, right? That was it. Right?
Which Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Yeah, he was U.S. champion, Jim Crockett, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that was the dog collar match. Everybody thought the dog collar match was going to be for his U.S. title.
Right.
It actually wasn't. So,
let's see, he was Alabama Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
Wow.
He was also Alabama Wrestling Federation tag team champion with Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh.
In the AWA, he was tag team champions twice with Jerry Miller. Who was Jerry Miller? I don't recall Jerry Miller.
I don't remember Jerry Miller at all.
Let's see, tag team champions in the American Wrestling Federation with Tommy Rich.
The AWS. What the fuck was that?
What the fuck is the Bad Boys of Wrestling? Is this an actual thing? He was Bad Boys of Wrestling heavyweight champion once, whatever the fuck that is.
What year was that?
I don't know. That doesn't have a thing. For
Bad
me to
Boys
see
of Wrestling?
Bad Boys of Wrestling.
I've never even heard of that.
Canadian Grand Prix wrestling champion once.
all these
International
taco
World
belts?
Class Championship Wrestling once. IWA heavyweight champion once. Let's see, Maple Leaf Wrestling NWA Canadian heavyweight wrestling champion once. The Mid-Atlantic, he was the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion, the Mid-Atlantic tag team champion, Mid-Atlantic television champion, NWA television champion, NWA United States heavyweight championship, NWA World Tag Team Champion 4 times. WCW United States Tag Team Champions?
Yep.
I don't recall that one.
Him and Terrence Taylor. They took.
I remember
I remember that.
Oh,
Yes, Zeus. Yes,
And I
yes.
believe, they
that.
retired the belts while Valentine and Taylor were champions.
I remember
also,
that. Him and Terrence Taylor. Yes, yes.
he's also North American champion 2 times. He was the America's heavyweight champion. What the fuck is NWA Beat the Champ Television Championship? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
I never heard of it. I've legitimately never heard of Beat the Champ Television Championship. This guy, the list just keeps going on and on. He's held a gazillion belts.
I used to love him in the NWA. I mean, in the WWF. He was awesome, man. He was awesome.
I'll tell you right now, the most memorable thing for me for Greg Valentine was, and this is a really early memory of wrestling for me, because Ric Flair and Greg Valentine became a tag team.
I remember that. That was old school, yeah.
And they were on a tear, and then like they wrestled Ole and Gene, and like on the first try, they won the tag team belts from them. And Greg had been he was part of House of Humperdinck with
oh my god, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that House of Humperdinck.
And then Flair and Valentine are defending the titles, and Valentine just leaves him in there. Just walked out on Flair and left him to lose the belts. And that made Flair so mad. I remember they sold out Greensboro for that too, for their match. Because that was huge.
That was my one wish, man, to go to the Greensboro Coliseum. I always wanted to go to that place. Always. I was like, I need to go to Greensboro. I need to go to the Greensboro Coliseum because I would get all these matches on tape, all these Flair matches and Dusty matches and Harley Race matches and all these matches from the Greensboro Coliseum. I'm like, fuck, I got to get to that place, you know? And, that was before cable. And when cable came along and then like they have it at TBS and all of that stuff and, like NWA and all that shit. And then, we started watching Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Like I would get Mid-Atlantic Wrestling on that cable and Greensboro Coliseum. I was like, oh shit, man, I got to get into this.
Yeah.
It's
definitely the place to be. I mean, there's no denying that. And, it's funny, like when a lot of people talk about, like the greatest arenas of all time. And, of course, it's really hard to argue with, Madison Square Garden. But, I'll argue for, Greensboro to be second all day long.
Oh, I'm sure it was second and not first at times. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, historically, in 2023.
Right. Oh, right.
Like when you stack them up in in retrospect now. And, when people would say, oh, the Kiel Auditorium or,
No, yeah, St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah,
the Omni in Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, and really, the thing, the big case you have to make for, of course, Madison Square Garden and Greensboro is they're actually still open, they're still standing, and they're still having wrestling.
Yeah.
Whereas the Sportatorium was torn down.
Yeah.
The Kiel isn't there anymore. I mean, all these other
Omni's gone. Yeah.
the Omni's been gone. I mean, the Omni was gone by the early '90s.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to hear about Omni all the time.
Yeah. The Omni was the place, and it really the wherever the Hawks were playing after that, I don't remember. It was not as talked about. I mean, even like the the Charlotte Coliseum, which is now that Bojangles Arena. That was, well, no, not Bojangles Arena. The Charlotte Coliseum, the Charlotte Coliseum held about 15,000, 16,000 people. And that was hugely important. And then Dorton Arena in Raleigh, once again, that never got any bigger. That's still only about an 8,000 seat venue. So,
what was that spot in Chicago too? That was huge.
Pavilion.
Yeah, there you go.
That was one of the big. That was a big name place. Yeah. And then, Pedro, what was the one in Houston?
Houston was for which one?
Wasn't the Summit?
The Summit was the big one, right? Then and then the NWA always came to the Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston. But the biggest shows like concerts and Rockets and things like that was at the Summit. Then the Summit turned into the Compact Center. Then the Compact Center got sold to Joel Osteen for his mega church thing, and now it's something else. I think it's the Toyota Center is where all that stuff happens.
I remember when the Meadowlands opened in Jersey, and like everybody's making a big deal about the whole complex. But back then you had Giant Stadium, and then you had the Brendan Byrne Arena and all that, and there was always a little thing going on between New York and Jersey. We had the Brendan Byrne Arena, there's Madison Square Garden. And then you had the other piece of shit out in Long Island, but then what was great about the Meadowlands in Jersey was that they were booking NWA shows,
right?
So like at least like once every other month, you get an NWA house show will come up there, and it'd be a big show,
Yeah, even that's where the
Flair Steamboat I saw in there. They had a lot of good shows in there.
Hey,
but that's where Flair won the. Flair beat Sting back for the title in the Meadowlands.
B. Brian Bell, what's going on, brother?
What's going on?
He acknowledges
he acknowledged us.
Woo woo.
But it was good because I was able to finally go see an NWA show, and I didn't have to travel 1 billion miles.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, come on, and all my friends are running around with their Hulkamania headbands on around their head like idiots, and I'm walking around my bathrobe going woo, so it's it was all good.
That sounded like you wanted me to play the Rick Derringer song, James.
You mean the U.S. Express theme music?
Yeah.
But it was all right. The Meadowlands was nice. It was a nice place, but I just loved it because they had the NWA shows there. But all honesty, there's nothing like the Garden, man. The Garden rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, the Madison Square Garden. I always wanted to go there because not just because of like the wrestling, but because the boxing. Cause I was way into boxing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The boxing is legendary shit there. You
The
know.
boxing,
I mean, legendary.
the concerts, like so many
Mhm.
legendary concerts there.
Mhm.
It's just as like a dream, you know, like to me.
I saw Prince there.
Wow. What
Mhm.
year?
Oh shit! It was in the 90s. It was 90 something. It was when
Was it
I'm trying to think of what
Raspberry
album came out.
Beret or after
Which
that?
album?
I'm trying to think of the album that came out at the time. I think it was Sign of the Times, if I'm not mistaken.
Sign of the Times was 87.
All right,
But
so
if you
it
saw
was after that.
if you saw him for Sign of the Times tour, that'd be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was something like that because he played a lot of stuff from Sign of the Times. Because I was doing the sing along with Starfish and Coffee.
Oh
You know,
wow.
Starfish and Coffee. You
Yeah.
know, he was doing the sing alongs like everybody was clapping. Maple syrup and jam. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw him in '97 at the Summit. And it was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was-
He played every instrument at some point in the show. He
yeah.
like humped everything and everyone on the stage.
Yeah.
He's
Only
humping
bad
the
thing was-
speakers and
Well, the only bad thing was our seats. Where our seats were, some of the house speakers were like nearby, and so my ears were ringing for like 7 days. It's the longest my ears have ever rung.
Yeah, I had a sore throat for 3 days. You know what else I saw at Madison Square Garden? I saw sumo wrestling.
Really?
oh wow,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes. That shit was awesome. That was when that big star, what was his name? Ake Pono or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Yeah. I saw him there. It was amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he was
awesome.
amazing.
hmm That guy was huge, bro. Oh my God, you're a monster. Yeah, I saw sumo wrestling and the whole intricacies of the whole pre-match routine. It was wild, you know.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I get on kicks where I'll watch a lot of sumo on YouTube.
Mm. I saw that at the Garden. I've seen obviously a shitload of WWF shows. I went to the Royal Rumble in the '99.
Oh yeah,
The first appearance of Taz.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was there.
but was the crowd well receiving of him at that time?
As far as I remember, yeah, they were pumped up. They were chanting ECW. Yeah,
Because he was
yeah,
he was the little local guy.
yeah. That was the very first appearance. I was there. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy how all that
Yeah.
shit ended for ECW when you're looking at, you know, when you think about what went on back then.
Yeah, man. Everybody's waiting to get booked, and Paul Heyman shows up on SmackDown. That was hot.
I still have a job.
Yeah. You, on the other
The
hand,
rest of you, not so much.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen some good shit at the Garden. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen some good shit at the Garden.
Well,
The Meadowlands, not so much. I saw the Giants lose a lot.
Yeah.
NWA shows were good.
Yeah, you told us about watching Jordan a bunch of times at the
Yeah, I was there for some Knicks and the fucking Bulls games. Yeah,
Oh man, that must have been great.
that was in my
Especially-
heyday, man. That was when I was running wild. That was in my heyday. I was getting, yeah, because I was doing because because I had a lot of connections back then. So I was getting, I was getting tickets to like Knicks and Bulls where it was sold out. I was getting tickets to this, tickets to that. We're like, yeah, come on, let's go, fuck it, and I was booing the shit out of Jordan, but he was amazing. He was not human. He was not human.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of younger basketball fans doing reaction videos in the last couple of years of they're like watching the famous Jordan mixtape, and then like it's like a lot of like LeBron fan watches the Jordan versus LeBron debate with all these metrics and stuff
as much of a Knicks fan that I am, and because like it was predetermined that I hate Jordan, but there was nothing like Jordan. He was Superman.
Yeah,
there was nothing like him.
I saw him once the last time he played the Bulls versus the Rockets with him during his last year with the Bulls, and it was like, I mean, he just did what he wanted, basically. Like when he was. It was what it seemed like. It just seemed like he just did what he wanted.
I went to a Ranger playoff game, and that place, that's when I heard the Garden actually shake. I felt it shake. I literally felt it shake. I was like, holy shit, man, Rangers were nuts. And it was against, if I remember correctly, it was against the Bruins. And oh my God, that place was rocking, man. I felt the Garden shake.
That had to be awesome.
Yeah, so it was a good moments at the Garden, that was the place to be, That was the place,
Yeah. There's also a lot of, they're lately a lot of these guys have been watching the Larry Bird highlights. He's another guy that's he was just unfreaking believable.
He was. Well, he was. I saw him a couple of times at the Garden. Zeus, he never missed.
I know.
It's
just like he just, he went out there. He's like, all right. And then he, like everybody that's ever defended him, says that he would talk so much crap and he'd be like, look, I'm going to go over there, like to be a timeout and they're going to get the inbound or whatever. He's like, they're going to get the ball to me. I'm going to go right over there. I'm going to shoot it in your face. And I'm going to give you a present.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they couldn't stop him.
No. No, I hated the most so. I was at one of the playoff games. A friend of mine got tickets, and I went. It was Knicks and Pacers. Fucking Reggie Miller.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I forgot about that.
That dude.
Did you see the choke games? Is that? Did you?
No, I wish
choke?
I was there live. I watched it on TV, but I wasn't there live for that. No.
Because that was epic when Reggie won that, got like 3 baskets in about 9 seconds.
Yeah, that was hard. I was pulling the heart out of my chest when I saw that. Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, because it had a knife in it.
Yeah. I was so pissed off. I was like, oh my God, horrible. I almost threw up. How do you lose this game?
Yeah, dude, I was a Barkley fan, so I had to watch him lose to the Bulls, and then those 2 heartbreaking 7-game series against Houston.
I mean, come on, so it's going to give me Arjun all over again, please.
And honestly,
remember Charles Smith, fucking Charles Smith, going up and down. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? Oh, he killed me.
Yeah, you know what really killed you was when Starks started that one game 0-19.
Yeah, against Houston. And they kept going to him.
Yeah.
And they kept going to him and helping to shoot it out. Clank,
clank, it was just like he's never a terrible shooter. It's like you had to go with your weapon.
Yeah, that was cool. Oh, here we go. I'm living in the 90s again. Oh my God, I need to get drunk now. Look at this. This is horrible.
James is
gonna put a big old shot or 2 of vodka in his low V8 juice.
My V8 with vodka. Oh my God, that was horrible. Horrible times. That was horrible. Almost as horrible as having LA Knight not on the SmackDown show at the Garden.
Well, at least you didn't go there,
Yeah, thank God.
And of course, here's another thing. Once again, is so many people are there. Everybody's so spoiled You know, like when live TV takes a huge turn, right? You know, cards, you know, so many people are just they expect to see everybody wrestling, get all their shit in.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. Spoiled is the perfect. That's the perfect word. Spoiled. Yeah, John Starks. Yeah. Well, you know what? I you know, that's the one thing I miss about New York. You know, like all those sporting moments, like you know, like I used to be a season ticket holder at Yankee Stadium, so I've been to plenty of moments there. You know, so it's like,
Oh yeah.
you know, I mean, I even saw football at Yankee Stadium. You know,
Oh
so that
wow.
was all. Yeah, I
The
saw
Giants or
Syracuse.
the Jets?
No. I was there for the first ever Pinstripe Bowl. I saw Syracuse versus Kansas State.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the very first college football game. First ever Pinstripe Bowl. I was there.
That's crazy because
Yeah, because I was a season ticket holder, so like I would get, you know, like I would get advances to the events if I wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? I get first choice.
yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go. College football? What? Yankee Stadium? Hell yeah. Come on, let's do it.
And you know, I mean, Syracuse is a hell of a lot closer to me.
Yeah,
than it is
to me. Yeah.
to New York City.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, man, awesome. So awesome. Loved it. But you know, it was you know, that was then, you know. Now, you know, now I gotta deal with whether or not I want to go see SmackDown at the arena here in Orlando. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
Is it still the arena?
No, I say I forgot the name they changed it to, the Allstate Arena, some shit like that.
But I mean, did they have they built a new one, or is it still the same one?
No. It's the same one. They upgraded it though.
Because I was in Orlando in '95. Yeah, in '95 when the Magic were in the finals.
Oh yeah.
Against Houston.
Yeah.
And everything in Orlando was blue and white. It was all everybody was supporting the
Magic.
The Magic and like the you know the water tower, the Mickey Mouse water tower.
Yeah.
It had Horace Grant goggles on it. Yeah, it had giant like.
That's funny.
Know, and so did there was this seafood restaurant. I had a massive. I can't remember if it was a crab or a lobster on the front of the roof, and that had goggles. And then
wow.
Yeah, and like we stopped like at a mall or something, and people were just going around town. They were just putting like Go Magic flyers on people's cars.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, it's still there, but they redid it. It's called the Allstate Arena or some shit like that, something like that.
I'm looking at the WWE site, James, and it says Friday, July 21st, SmackDown, Orlando, Florida. It says Amway Center.
That's it. Yeah, the Amway
it's
Center.
Still Amway Center.
Yeah, that's it. There was Allstate, I believe, at one time, and that's Amway. Yeah, Amway Center.
Okay, I thought it was. I thought they changed it from that. I thought they sold it to somebody like James.
No, they did it. They did it.
That's not a.
I think it was
not a pyramid
Allstate
scheme.
I think it was Allstate for like a year or two, and then they changed it to Amway. Yeah, but they did the whole thing.
No. I don't think so. Because the guy that used to own the team was the Amway guy.
Amway guy, right.
And he was the one that had that stadium built. So
right.
I'm sure that it went straight from the arena to
Amway. Right. There you go.
Yeah. Amway, you're actually making money when you're saving arena.
Yeah.
So, James, how far away are you from Melbourne, Florida?
I'm a ways.
They got NXT tonight there.
No, I'm good. If I'm gonna go see NXT, I'm gonna go to TV taping at the Performance Center. So, because it's about an hour for me, so it's not too bad.
He wanted to go see Raquel Gonzalez.
Which one is she on? Is she on SmackDown or Raw?
Yes, man. Well, they're the tag team champion, so I guess they go wherever.
Oh, okay.
You know? But I was thinking about going to one of those shows at the Amway Center. I'm like, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I haven't decided.
I can't go to any live shows at the moment because of situations. But
yeah.
But if I could go to like wherever Asuka is, I would like to, I would like to see her, like, you know, before I can't see her. You know what I'm saying? I
think right. Yeah, I think Raw's in Buffalo this Monday. I think they're coming to July. I think SmackDown's coming to the Amway Center either next week or the week after, some shit like that. Or the week of my surgery, I think they're showing up. So I don't know. Yeah. So the Raw's not going to be too far behind. I think Raw's going to be in Miami. So
that's a ways.
Yeah, that's a ways. So, yeah. So I was thinking about I was thinking about going to one of those NXT takeover shows, but you know, it's just hard getting tickets on that WWE website. Sucks, man. Horrible.
Interesting. On Saturday, September 9th in Uniondale, New York, the WWE has listed an event titled Saturday Night's Main Event.
Huh.
What the fuck?
On the island?
Like, I know what Saturday Night's Main Event was back in the day, but like, what is this? And then the next day in Charlottesville, Virginia, they have something called Sunday Stunner.
That travel schedule was brutal, man.
I mean, that's, you know, they had to have that for, you know, I mean, that's the whole thing with that, you know, the brand split.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of that's brand split. If there's no way you're doing a show and then you're going to Charlottesville, then you're going here. I mean, that's a ways.
Then October 21st in Edinburgh, Texas, they have a Saturday Night's Main Event again. And then Sunday, October 22nd in Laredo, Texas, they got Sunday Stunner again. So is this a monthly thing?
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Well, they're probably just what they're calling their big house shows, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably.
You know? You know, they're probably just trying to market their bigger house shows. You know, because, you know, they have house shows at the Garden. And they call them something. They're not regular house shows. I forgot what they call them, but like all the...
Well, you know, for a while there, they were doing it was like, you know, WWE Greensboro, WWE Orlando.
Right. You know. And they started calling the bigger ones the super shows.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, the house shows.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is where we're at, you know. So
I don't know what they're calling them now. I don't know. They're always trying to market the shit out of themselves. So who knows?
Branding.
Yeah, all about the branding. Where is LA Knight? Yeah, let me talk to you.
Super nice guy, too. You know?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was watching a couple of interviews with him. He was kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
I'm saying that the WWE was worried because he was quote-unquote 39 years old. I said, I didn't stop you from doing the Damian Priest. He's the same age, if not older.
Yeah. You know, he's good friends with Johnny Mundo and Ty and them.
I haven't heard anything from Ty. Is he still on AEW?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. They kind of inverted hot shot her, you know. They pushed her really fast and then
That's it.
smashed her before she got the title, so they could bring back the weird alien chick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Botchlander?
Yeah. Botchlander, yeah. I can't believe Mac is there. I was like, no, poor guy.
Yeah, he's in Ring of Honor.
Well,
yeah.
He gets to make money, I know, but other than that, it's like, poor guy.
Well,
Yeah.
The only takeaway from that is that at least you get to actually see him on TV. You know.
Yeah. You know what's it's interesting. Like if I scan some of the clips and things and read sort of results and things that are happening with AEW, I'm always like, man, I'm always amazed how consistent they are at being awful, right? but look, saying that, okay, so I'm saying that. I'm not saying people don't enjoy it. I know there are people who enjoy it. I'm just saying they're enjoying a very terrible thing. But so putting that aside, it's amazing to me that they're so consistently bad. And then at the same time, they're like, they've surpassed 75,000 ticket sales for that show in England coming up. And this TV deal they're on at the moment, if it continues, will bring them like $1 billion in XYZ years or something. And you're just like, so somehow they're succeeding despite being so terrible and having like, such ratings and stuff like that. It's the business of wrestling is kind of a media entity is interesting. It's entering it interesting.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, when people talk about the ratings that they're wanting, on TNT, TNT after Nitro, turned into it turned into a syndicated station, basically. I mean, because all it was showing was reruns. They only had they sporadically they try to for about 5 years they made original content.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that show with what's her name, Ellen Sorkin?
Oh yeah.
Like she was a private eye. They had a show like that, and the La Femme Nikita, and they had some, or maybe that was USA.
Right.
But
yeah, I think
that was USA.
Was USA. Yeah.
But TNT, they had some,
Rizzoli and Isles.
But overall,
they have Rizzoli and Isles. I remember them coming on TNT a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just and in tons of reruns. Of other TV shows. So if you're getting 500,000 people on a Saturday night to watch wrestling in this day and age, I mean, if I'm TNT, I'm probably still not upset about that.
Right.
No, absolutely not. Well, that's probably why they agreed to Collision. I mean, it's going to bring them eyes,
Yeah, and the thing is too, like when football starts up, they're gonna get killed.
Yeah,
the numbers are going to be lower than that on big Saturday nights for college, and then once
I was just about to say, as soon as college football starts, that's it.
Yeah. So maybe they'll move. I mean, they really should just bite the bullet and make a Monday show.
I think that's coming eventually, Zeus. I have a funny feeling that I wouldn't be surprised if you see that by the end of the year.
So, I mean, whatever they do, whenever they do it, I mean, if as little as I know about how TV people feel, I mean, this is just, I don't see the Turner Networks giving up on it anytime.
No.
On the ratings for Collision, by the way, like the first week was something like 816,000, The second week was 595,000. I think last week was 432,000. But
Yeah,
that,
the holiday
but still,
weekend.
that's fairly decent. That's fairly
Yeah.
decent for a Saturday where most people
Yeah.
are out and doing
Yeah.
stuff.
And especially as much time as AEW has done, has had to smear CM Punk, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
I have never seen, well, I won't say it, but I mean, they definitely turned on him, and they, as much as they've protected other people from stuff like that, I mean, it's been open season, and it's only those few guys like Fart and Ricky Starks that have, stuck by Punk, throughout all this thing, because we got so many, elite idiots, out
Yeah.
there. And honestly, I don't care anything about Punk either. But I just
I'm done with Punk. Actually, B. Brian Bell actually says something good. He goes, "You think it's smart to go head to head with the WWE? Right now, they can pretend to compete and be a big player, but if they go head to head on Monday nights, they'll tell everybody what we all know." Yeah, I mean, look what happened with TNA. Though they can go up to get head to head on Monday nights. Hogan and Bishop
still,
try to
you're gonna
recreate
get-
Nitro.
You're going to get WWE fans to change the channel.
Right,
When
exactly.
something happens
Yeah.
on Raw that
Yeah.
they're like, I don't care about Charlotte Flair. I don't care
Right.
about whoever. Oh, I hate so and so. They're
Right.
going to flip the channel to see
So the
what's
channel,
happening on AEW.
absolutely,
So
absolutely. That's how it starts too.
because that's how I was.
Yeah.
I'm watching WCW, and then it's like, oh God, I don't want to hear Hogan and and all these other people I hate talking, and oh gee, we're having a match with Six coming up. Oh boy, what the hell's on Raw right now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Because the early part of Nitro, the first hour was always at least one cruiserweight luchador
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
So
that would usually open the show too.
right, and then they and that was on before Raw even started, because Raw didn't start till 9.
Yeah.
The Brian Bell said not enough will flip because they have the market they have. I don't think the casual is going to flip the channel. I'll say this: the wrestling audience for television ratings is capped. I've said this a number of times. It's a capped audience. It's not going to go beyond. The maximum will be either 3 to 4 million. It's not going to go anywhere beyond that number. So if you have both shows on the same day, it's going to be like when they were doing the Wednesday thing against NXT or whatever, NXT versus AEW. It's just the numbers are just going up and down within the same audience. It's not going to grow. It's not a growing thing. It's just the same. The number is going to go up and down within that same core people watching all those shows. So it's a capped audience.
And don't, wouldn't you say it's because there's no mainstream, there's no crossover stars in wrestling?
I mean,
At the moment,
yeah, I mean, if you go back and you think about that Austin Rock period, right? You went to, like, I was in university at the time. There's frat kids wearing the shit. They're wearing the NWO shirts. They're wearing the Steve Austin shirts. They're wearing the DX shit. They're wearing the Rock stuff. You go to the mall, the kids are wearing it. This and this. Right. You're seeing it everywhere. You're not the last person you saw Cena. I would see his stuff. Like, I see it on kids, of course, but I see kids wearing Cena's stuff like all over the place. But you don't see, since then, I can't name anything like that.
The thing that I'd seen over the last, say, 10 years, like people wearing away from wrestling events, I've seen some Bullet Club shirts, and this was probably closer to, like 7 years ago. And then I would still see, like various WWF T-shirts,
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
it would be like like a Shield T-shirt or something like that. You know, so I mean, you know how old that is. So
I've seen a lot of Bullet Club stuff. I've seen some CM Punk stuff. But other than that, I haven't really seen a lot of people wearing shirts anymore. I mean, like I wore my New Japan shit.
yeah,
But
and
other than that,
but you know, I mean, the '90s were built on the '80s.
right.
Right. Right.
You know, the '90s were built on the '80s because it took all those stars that were built up in the '80s and you know put them back in a great spot, and it also brought up a lot of new stars, and then it got people to notice, like, you know, mainstream people were interested in pro wrestling back then.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, Dennis Rodman, Jay
Yeah.
Leno,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson when he was not falling asleep at a wrestling event.
Oh yeah, I mean that Tyson and
Yeah.
Austin like shoving each other. That
Yeah,
thing
that was
was
national
everywhere.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, you know, every bit of, you know, and uh, and then all the time. You remember on both shows. I think I remember it more on WWE programming, but every time that there were celebrities in the audience, you know, they would show them. So, oh, look, it's Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
oh, it's half the Boston Bruins team. Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
I mean,
the
it's
offensive
like,
line from the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. You know.
yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, they had people that were
Mhm.
still following it and that were still interested, and it was a fun big group thing. And the internet, of course, it takes away, you know,
Yeah.
large groups of friends, you know, because we also went, like, the '80s also changed wrestling from a mostly adult audience to a mostly or to a, they brought in
It
so many
became
more
kid
kids.
friendly. It became kid friendly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So,
became kid friendly.
you know, it's just that, you know, that the whole, you know, the war ending and, you know, WWE coming out on top, and, you know, it just that's what killed it. And then the fact that, you know, that, you know, with how popular and powerful and everything that like The Rock got and Steve Austin got, and, you know, where they could do what they wanted to do, you know, that's, you know, Vince started playing up the brand over the stars.
Over the stars. Yeah.
Now here's something I find interesting. Brian Bell and I have actually had conversations about this. He's actually the one who pointed this out, but it's interesting that it's kind of, to me, it's kind of undisputed that wrestling is less popular than it was in the 80s and 90s. And what I mean by that is there's less people like watching it and doing stuff for it. There might be more people watching it online or something, but it's a very niche audience, right?
Yeah.
What Zeus was saying, you don't have the mainstream appeal that
Right.
it had those 2 decades, but it's making more money than it has ever made in the history. Like the WWE is making more money than ever before.
Well, yeah, that's because there's more outlets to make that
And
money.
AEW on this current TV deal, if it holds, potentially will make like $1 billion XYZ dollars in XYZ years from this deal, which is insane. And I mean, neither of these things are necessarily lighting the world on fire. You don't have, you know, your nephew's not coming up to you going, you know, wearing, you know, Roman Reigns shit or whatever.
Right. And you know, so like, you know, the advent of streaming services and all of these, you know, and like every major network kind of becoming a streaming service unto its own, you know, has increased the demand for content.
Yeah.
And Hulu is able to say, or I mean, they're able to boast what NXT still, or I don't remember.
Yeah.
But now,
Peacock.
I think
Yeah.
they still. I think Hulu still has the truncated versions of Raw and SmackDown, like the day after. Yeah.
the day, yeah. So, but I mean, it's such a well-known name. It looks good in your portfolio. Like when people are like, okay, well, why am I going to get Peacock?
No.
Well, Peacock has this, WWE, blah, 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 The Office. And, I mean, it just, now it's a recognized, big brand to have in your thing, which makes it more valuable.
And Vince selling the WWE Network to Peacock was a big bang too, because that was $1 billion right there.
Yeah.
And that was just for the streaming service. That wasn't
Exactly.
that wasn't even the sale of it,
Mm-hmm.
of the promotion. But and then when we talk about money, I feel that wrestlers themselves on the whole are probably getting paid less on the inflated dollar than the guys in the 80s and 90s. Like based on what we've seen from that guy Phil Cole's account, where you're seeing that like Junkyard Dog was making $3,000 for one night in 1982.
Yeah.
And that's what, about $9,000-$10,000 now. No, nobody that's not signed to a big thing is making $10,000 in a night.
No.
Right.
And another thing,
AEW people paying some people $5-6 million. I wouldn't be surprised.
right? They're maybe paying some people that, but they're not paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, once again, but we don't know that. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Right? People,
I'm sure with merchandising and everything else tied into it.
I don't think so. I think they're all lying. That's why they're all working their asses off 2, 3, 4 days a week. I don't think they're getting, unless you're at the top of the food chain, I don't think you're getting that. And
You don't think a lot of people are getting the big merch box? No?
No. I don't think so, especially outside of WWE. I mean, how many times, remember, there's been times where people are like, oh, God, so-and-so has been around. They don't even have a shirt.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
How many Raquel Gonzalez shirts do you have in your closet, James?
None. That's a travesty. I got to fix that.
No,
Right? If you
had
to look at her T-shirt, would you pick it out? Would you be able to pick out a Raquel Gonzalez T-shirt out of a lineup?
Nope.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Nope.
Right?
No, Zeus, you're absolutely right. Yeah. No, you're right.
Because,
Oh, that's a terrible shirt. I have to say.
Yeah, I know. They're nondescript. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I mean, WWE's got the worst T-shirt design team in the world. I mean, they have the most tone deaf, graphically retarded.
And they milk shit to death. I mean, come on, man. Look at that LWO T-shirt. Come on.
Brian Bell said Nyla Rose is listed as being paid $1.8 million. That can't be true.
But listed by who?
Yeah, that can't be true.
We're not seeing her tax return.
That cannot be true.
They might be overpaying her people, but they ain't paying her that much. There's no way.
That's a lot of money to be paying.
Maybe $1.8 million for her entire career. Serpentico ain't getting no $300,000. There is not. That is online reporting is. It's all a bunch of lies. It's all a bunch of lies because what do we know about wrestlers? They're cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? I've had conversations about selling my art to some of these wrestlers who have money and they think $150 is too much for
fucking pointillism portrait that's going to take me 3 weeks to do. Because there's so many stupid idiots out here. One thing, giving away art, but not this guy. Not no more.
No, don't do that. Yeah.
Hardly ever draw art for wrestlers anymore. You know.
I remember that year you took all that shit to WrestleCade. Remember?
Yeah, I did that for 3 years. Yeah. But that was fun for me, you know. But then when some people started expressing, you know, hey, I'd like to use that for a T-shirt. Okay, sure. Just give me 2 T-shirts. Okay. Well, I'll let you know. Like, you can't buy 2 T-shirts. You can't give me 2 of the T-shirts for this portrait of you to allow you to use this art. Come on, man.
No, wrestlers are very
they're cheap, and they don't talk about how much they make. We do not see these actual contracts. The last major contract we've ever seen was the Hogan WCW contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a super front. That was a great deal for Hogan.
It was all
and we know that Bischoff helped engineer that contract because he was getting a piece of it.
Yeah.
So, we'll just, nobody had a merchandise thing like that. I mean, it's like if it had to, if there's yellow or red on the shirt, Hogan gets a piece of that. You know, he's in the NWO, and it's just a shirt that says NWO or NWO Wolfpack, which he wasn't a part of. He gets a piece of that. If there's a shirt that's got a wolf on it, he gets a picture of that.
Yeah, if there's a shirt that had a red tag, just because it's red, he got a piece of that.
Yeah, it's red ink on the tag. It's
it says Haynes in red. Oh, I got a piece.
Right? Anything is yellow is.
You should if you want to see some bad T-shirts, look at these Cody Rhodes T-shirts. Jesus Christ, that fucking.
Well, he's getting paid. Isn't Cody Rhodes getting paid a nice cent? I mean, he's getting paid, right?
I'm sure he's getting paid, but we don't know how much.
Right.
Nobody knows. Any of these insiders, any of these guys, they don't know how much they make for sure because they're not reporting.
Well, Nyla Rose is getting 1.8. That's what's being reported, right? How much do you think Cody Rhodes is getting?
And once again, we don't. Like I said, we know that they're overspending, but I don't.
Yeah, everybody's overspending. You notice that?
I just, the WWE can overspend because they have so much. They have a ridiculous amount of money coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe some of these things.
Did the merger with the UFC is going to stop that or no?
Well, see, Vince is still in charge, so until they're not in charge, until Vince is not in charge, but you can't start just. They could actually. We saw them do it before. We've seen them,
cut everybody.
The annual, 30 to 50 people out the door.
Purge.
Yeah.
So I
found a list that I can see where Brian got these numbers, but the things aren't saying where they're getting their numbers from, right?
Of course.
So, they do have Nyla Rose listed at like nearly $2 million, which just I cannot believe that to be true. Like they do not push that person like
and also like
paying that much money.
If she was making that amount of money, she would be flexing.
Yeah.
She would be buying expensive shit. She would be showing us her new home, her new fancy cars. Come on, man. She'd be blinging out. There's no way that these people, if they're making this crazy amount of money, and like I said, Serpanico $300,000. His gear would look a lot better than that if he was making $300,000 a year. Fuck me.
Maybe not.
And that's another thing. These guys should have new gear every week if they're making these high amounts of money. Come on.
Yeah, even Seth Rollins is wearing he wears the same gear pretty much every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? Seth Rollins,
and he's getting paid
completely.
What's that?
Seth Rollins seems to be wearing all kinds of crazy stuff lately, though.
Yeah, because he's at the
but
top
it's the
end.
same. Yeah,
He's at the top
and it's the
end. He's a
same
main
2 or
eventer.
3 tights he wears. It's the same 2 or 3 tights that he always wears. That fucking gold and sea green bullshit. Yeah, because it matches the belt, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I mean he's but he's been doing that flamboyant stuff, and he's rolling in a lot more than some of these guys for sure. I mean he's at the top end of
him,
WWE.
Reigns. I think
Because-
him, Reigns, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, or somebody else are like 7 figures.
Because I mean we all agreed that before he won that belt that he was absolutely one of the top 3 most logical people to win it.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
he's become a WWE guy. They can depend on him. I mean he had the 2 bad the 2 bad buckle bombs. But other than that, I mean he's been really solid, and plus this gimmick he's just settled into so well. This new gimmick it's so good. People either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
Either way, they're going to
And
make noise when he comes through the curtains.
Either way, it's over, too. It doesn't matter if we hate it because it's over. So once it's over, that's it.
But if you ask Jimmy Fallon who Seth Rollins is, he's going to be like, "Are you talking about that punk rock guy from the '80s?" No, not Henry Rollins, Seth Rollins.
he might know because he's a wrestling head, so he might know who Seth Rollins is.
Maybe okay.
I mean, he's been on the Tonight Show, so.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah. So
Fair enough.
his show, yeah. So, but I don't know. It's just, it's like you said, Zeus. I mean, like all of these salaries are reported. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right. So like who's actually reporting them? How do you know? Like how do you know?
So look, I found a thing about WWE salaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, who do you think they quote for their source on this?
Well, as Brian Bell says, a publicly
Yeah.
traded company, so it's easier to get salaries for a publicly traded
Right,
company.
but this article I'm looking at is citing the Wrestling Observer Meltzer for these numbers.
Right. So that's completely
Well,
not credible.
That tells you all you need to know right there.
Lying.
I mean, look,
That just tells you.
The
Look at
wrestlers
this.
don't want people to know how little they make.
they're saying Brock Lesnar $5 to $10 million approximately, Roman Reigns $5 million, and then they're saying Vince McMahon $5 million. So you're telling me Brock Lesnar is on salary making more than Vince McMahon?
Well, they get paid in bonuses. At the end of the year, all those executives they don't really take a salary. They get paid bonus, and that bonus could be anywhere from $15 to $30 million. That's how it usually works.
Kevin Owens is getting $2 million. Charlotte Flair $2 million. Paul Heyman $2 million. Ronda Rousey $1.5 million.
That's a waste of money.
Dolph Ziggler $1.5 million.
But she's a hell of a lot more recognizable than
Jinder Mahal is getting $900,000. Where's Jinder Mahal doing something?
For what? Is he a brand ambassador back in India or Canada or where is he?
I
at?
mean, look, they have Kane getting $900,000. Kane's not even. Was he just like a legend contract?
No, he's not. He can't be making almost $1 million on a legend contract. That's ridiculous.
Bianca Belair is $500,000. Like, do people really think that's true? Like,
Mm-hmm. You pay me $100, I'll go run in the ring.
you go run in the ring. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, come on. Would you want to be tombstone by the Undertaker?
No.
Not in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Really
break
pick
your
his
neck.
feet up.
Yeah,
I
don't
did not
break your
trust
neck.
him to pick me up.
No.
I got too many people I got to take care of, James.
Who's going to take care of me if I go down?
I want to be the receiving end of a
That's a very real
450 by
situation.
Ricochet.
No, I don't want to be in the receiving end of anything with the Ricochet. That's okay. And
So
I'm not giving him a thumbs up. Sorry.
right, so all right, so
Here's
here,
another one. How much is he making?
Oh.
Damn, you're making that much,
Tell
right?
us. Tell us.
okay, so here we have this this card from May 14th, 1982,
Okay.
AWA.
Ooh.
All right. The matches are starting at the bottom of the card. Scott Casey versus Killer Brooks. Bob Sweeten versus Ken Lucas. Hacksaw Duggan against Ricky Morton. Superstar Billy Graham against Jimmy Golden. Then then there's his bonus match, 8-man gang war. Then it was Tully Blanchard versus Wahoo. Then Mil Mascaras against the Raging Bull. Gino Hernandez versus Tommy Wildfire Rich. And AWA World Champion Nick Bockwinkel against the Junkyard Dog.
Wow, look at that.
Okay. So then
Where was that at?
Sam Houston Coliseum.
Look at that.
May 14th, 1982. Now, these are the handwritten and typed up notes from the promoter. Okay, this is the account is Phil Cole. He got all these records and stuff in he's been collecting it. And I think he got a whole bunch in an estate sale or something like that. So 1982 May 14th, 1982. So the entire group of wrestlers, including the referee, are paid $29,648. Top of the card was Bockwinkel with $3,190, Junkyard Dog $3,471, Gino Hernandez $2,500, Tommy Rich $2,800, they're almost $2,900, Mil Mascaras $2,500, Raging Bull $2,000, Wahoo $2,200, Tully $2,000, and then Billy Graham $775, Jim Duggan $600, Ricky Morton $600, Ken Lucas, Bob Sweeten, Steve Casey, Killer Brooks all $600, Nick Kozak, whoever that is, got $300, the referee $300, Jimmy Golden $600, Peter Burkholz $600, Bobby Heenan $1,390, Buck Robley $1,200, and Tiger Conway $100. Like I said, that was a total of $29,648.
Wow.
Right. So now the gross receipts. So they brought in $93,000.
Oh, dang.
In ticket sales, right? With 11,214 people in attendance.
Wow.
Right? Only 29 free tickets. So then they had to take off $2,800 in state tax, 10% booking, which was $9,000 plus. The balance, $81,800, and then it says it's some percent, and then after tax and book, $65,440, and then it says half of that is $32,720, and then they, like I said, and then they paid everybody as part of that. So they're bringing in $93,000. They only got a third of that in talent, which is still good money.
Yeah. Hell yeah, especially in 1982 for one night in Texas. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that was a 2 out of 3 fall 60-minute time limit match with Junkyard Dog and Nick Bockwinkel.
Yeah. Hell yeah, especially in 1982 for one night in Texas. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that was a 2 out of 3 fall 60-minute time limit match with Junkyard Dog and Nick Bockwinkel. 2 out of 3 fall 60-minute time limit match with Junkyard Dog and
Oh wow!
That would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna see if
Mhm.
it exists on YouTube anywhere.
So
Ooh, money, money, money,
so
money.
yeah. So $3,500
You
in
said 1980. What was it?
1982.
Was it May 14th, 1982?
Yep.
Okay, it is on YouTube. It is.
So $3,500 in 1982 is about $11,030 today.
Mm.
So you're paying Bachwinkle and Junkyard Dog $11,000 in today's money for one night.
Jesus.
And that's because they sold so many tickets. That's because they had
Right.
11,000 plus people in attendance.
Right. Well, that's a good card. I mean, everybody, I mean, shit, I would have went,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wahoo versus Tully Blanchard.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and you get to see Mil Mascaris. Yeah.
Will
Hell yeah,
Masters
man.
against a Raging Bull.
Yeah.
Chino
And Manny
Hernandez against Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Superstar Billy Graham, Hacksaw Duggan, Killer Brooks,
Killer
Ricky
Tim
Morton,
Brooks.
Jim Golden.
Hey, speaking of the AWA, I just want to say this week I watched Nick Bockwinkel versus Kurt Hennig, the 1 hour draw from '86.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I watched the rematch from Super Clash 2 in '87. And like the 1 hour draw is fantastic. I hadn't watched it since forever. And it's really good. The
Nick
rematch
Bachmaker was the man.
Oh yeah, the rematch is good, but it's nowhere near the level of the 1 hour draw match. But
Oh, Pedro, I meant to ask you, how do you feel about Julia winning the JPW Strong title?
I mean, I don't have any like specific feeling about it.
No?
It was interesting for me. It was more interesting following the fans talk about it before and after. Like, so going into it, there was a lot of AEW fans were showing up in the Stardom forums and stuff, insisting that what was her name? Willow?
Yeah.
Willow Nightingale.
That she had to retain. They're saying if she doesn't retain, then the title's meaningless and this and this. And like, yes, she wasn't supposed to have the belt to begin with. Sasha got injured, blah, blah, blah. But they've got it on her now. They've got to stand behind her. She has to win this match. Blah, 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 blah. And now they were ignoring the obvious thing, which was that New Japan wanted Julia versus Sasha Banks down the road, right?
Right.
But they were ignoring that thing. So anyways, you have this match. Julia wins the title, of course. And then those people, the AEW fans, were showing up and they're like, they're upset. They're like, well, this is meaningless. This is pointless. And then they're saying, well, now Julia has to come to the U.S. She has to wrestle in AEW. She has to either job the title back to Willow or she has to, US. And it's like they're about to start the 5-star Grand Prix fairly soon. Like there's going to be about a 2-month period. Julia's not going to be available. A lot of the Stardom girls aren't going to be available for stuff. And these people are just like freaking out, like, but this sucks. What are they doing with their division? And it's weird hearing them talk about the New Japan, the women's division. They're saying stuff like, why they put it on Mayu? She hasn't defended it. Why aren't they forcing the Stardom girls to be on every single New Japan show? And it's like, do you realize these are two different companies? They're owned by the same company. The same group owns both New Japan and Stardom, but they're run by two different sets of people, right?
Yeah.
And it's like they both have their own schedules and things to do. I don't know. It all played into that whole what was that shitty thing they had recently, the Forbidden Door bullshit. Plays into that Forbidden Door show because the AEW fans were like fantasy booking Stardom girls showing up to job to AEW women's wrestlers. And people kept trying to point out Stardom had a pay-per-view that day that the Forbidden Door pay-per-view was.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, they can send someone. And like literally every member of the Stardom roster was booked for that pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no one that they could send because like they were all on this pay-per-view. And people were like, that sucks. And so it played in, it's been this whole thing fueling one thing into another, the fans. So I've been following that more than having my own thing about it because to me it don't matter. It's just whatever.
Well then, then it shouldn't matter that Eddie Kingston won the New Japan Strong Open Heavyweight Championship, right?
Yeah, he is Yoshihashi moment.
I mean, James, what is this belt? Is the New Japan Strong Open Weight blah blah blah? Like it means nothing. Like none of these belts mean
it's caca. It's caca. It's
So, I
caca.
even the belts that we think are prestigious from the past or whatever, they don't mean anything.
He
now.
acted like he won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He acted like he beat Okada for the belt and shit. He was all like distraught and crying.
Hey,
I was like, dude.
What did I say in the chat? Okay, this guy, Eddie Kingston, for a few years has been running his mouth, going on about how much he loves the All Japan.
All Japan, right.
Always going on like this is like
it's always talking about Four Pillars, All Japan, King's Road.
Always talking about the All Japan, the 90s, the Four Pillars, the King's Road, blah blah, all this bullshit. And then now suddenly this week he's booked on the show. Suddenly, I've been dreaming of being on New Japan since I was 13 years old. I've been dreaming about this. Right, and you're just like, fuck off. Like, what happened to all this bullshit? Like, you've been dreaming you've been worshiping All Japan, or you've been dreaming about being on New Japan since you were a kid? Like, which is it?
New Japan would have paid him a nice fish sandwich to come, to come and be on one of their shows right now.
And what was that match with Moxley and Despy?
Dude, it's another damn death match. We don't know. We don't even know why they're upset with each other. I can death match better than you can. Oh yeah, let's death match about it. Okay, that sounds like a great idea.
A lot of the modern wrestling booking is like, can stuff happen? Then stuff happen. Can this match happen? Then let's do this match.
I mean, even worse than that, James, is that Despy against Evil Uno in front of like, I don't know, about 12 people.
8 people?
Yeah.
That was horrible. Yeah. What was that?
God.
What was that? Like, why did that even happen?
I don't know.
I don't even
Somebody
get that.
got a wild hair up their ass and decided to throw $5,000 at Desperado, I guess, to fly out there and.
But to have that kind of match with Evil Uno with nobody there, I mean, that's ridiculous.
It obviously is somebody that has more money than sense, is paying. They basically want to have dinner and a photo op with Desperado and make everybody think he's their friend.
I guess. I mean, that has to be the only reason. I mean, that would have to be because everything else didn't make sense at all.
This belt that Eddie Kingston won. Let's go over the prestigious history of the title holders. So it's
Tom Lawler is like the longest.
It starts in April of 2021. So it's
Filthy
like
Tom Lawler, right?
Filthy Tom Lawler is the first champion. Then you got Fred Rosser, then Kenta, then Hikuleo, then Kenta, and now Eddie Kingston.
Well, that's prestigious.
I mean, it just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
I thought that, that they were kind of. That they were going to do more with Kenta after he came back. I mean, it was a huge splash at first, but being a part of House of Torturing My Eyes is not him out at all.
Yeah,
and it's weird. He's had this strong open weight title twice. He's been IWGP US champion once.
Yeah.
But never open weight champion once.
And he had the briefcase too?
He won the New Japan Cup USA the USA version.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Something called Strong Survivor. What the fuck is Strong Survivor?
I don't know, man.
Zeus sounds so defeated.
Zeus sounds like Pedro. He's like, yo, I just given up. That's it. I'm done.
Hey, but
Yeah.
look. Okay,
I'm
so
done.
look, let me give you an example, like about the booking stuff we're talking about. So, in Stardom, okay, in Stardom.
B.
here's-
Brian Bell. I wonder if B. Brian Bell is done with wrestling too.
No, he's very into the WWE, I believe, still. But
Okay.
So in Stardom, you had this thing where Oedo Tai and Queen's Quest were feuding, and within this feud, like Queen's Quest leader is Utami, and she's feuding with her stablemate Saya Kamatani, and they're teasing that one of them is going to leave the stable, right? Because they're all questioning Utami's leadership. They're questioning if she's a good leader, blah, 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 this. And so Oedo Tai is like stirring the pot. So this builds up to this cage match, right? So you have this cage match with all these girls, and the last person left, it has to leave their stable. They don't have to join the other stable. They just have to leave their stable.
Right.
And so they do this thing where Utami purposefully stays in the ring the entire match so she can assure that all her teammates like escape, and then she escapes. So Queen's Quest wins. They're like, oh, she's a good leader after all, blah, blah, blah. They act like this emotional moment, blah, blah, blah. Oedo Tai has to kick out. They kick out Saki Kashima, blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay. So everyone's like, oh, what a great story, blah, 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 blah. Then the next week, Utami's like, I'm leaving Queen's Quest to go find myself before the 5-star Grand Prix starts. So now, 1 week she saves them, and the next week she leaves them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Booking today, USA.
She can find herself before this tournament, and she may rejoin them depending how the tournament turns out. And so
I don't know. I don't know. I think I got to start watching more 80s wrestling.
I'm saying, man.
Because all this booking shit, and I mean, like even the referees botching out. Did you see that shit with Keith Lee?
No, what happened?
Oh, in AEW? No.
No, I haven't heard about it. What happened?
Yeah, there was a tag match with Orange Cassidy and somebody else against Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, and I think Swerve Strickland, did a 450, and the referee's supposed to count 2.5. Somebody's supposed to break it up. He literally almost counted 3, and then waved off his own count. He botched the count because he wasn't supposed to count 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, referees messing up stuff happens all the time.
Yeah. It's just, just give me Flair and Steamboat. I'll be happy.
It's just that but that thing that Zeus was talking about, yeah, stuff just happens for no reason. It just happens. Like
Despy, Evil Uno, that made no sense.
United States, right, Zeus? They had a match on some indie show.
It was a New Japan show in Nashville.
Okay, so Moxley won that one.
Yeah.
So then they have this rematch, and Moxley wins the rematch too.
Yep.
So, okay, Moxley is the owns Desperado. We don't know why they had to have death matches. But they had to have death matches, and we don't know why the tag match the day before the final death match had to also be like a death match.
Well, because
when did this whole shit with Despy and Moxley start anyway?
Right, that's what we don't know that either.
Right.
But the tag match the day before, Jun Kasai is in that match.
Yeah,
in that tag match, and he doesn't wrestle a normal wrestling match.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we know who Jun Kasai is. Yeah,
but yeah, so he was, that's kind of a foregone conclusion.
But I mean, Zeus, that goes back to the booking thing. Then why book a match with Jun Kasai of the day before the final death match?
I don't know. You'd think you would showcase him as I don't know. I don't know.
Zeus is done.
I mean, if I was doing this, okay, if I'm booking this, okay, I know Jun Kasai and Desperado had a death match a year or two ago, right? I know that on some show in Japan. It wasn't.
Yeah. It was outside of it was might have been one of those Taka Michinoku shows.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So
I was saying New Japan did that. I was like, they didn't do that.
No.
So here's what I do. This is what I would do. I have Moxley be like, you got to fight Jun Kasai. I always want to fight that motherfucker. Let's show me you're not real deathmatch, blah blah blah. Show me what you got. So then they have that match in Nashville. Okay, Moxley beats Desperado, and then he's like, give me Jun Kasai, give me the real fucking deal. So then it leads to the final death match. Isn't Desperado Moxley again? It's Moxley Jun Kasai. That's how I would do.
Yeah.
Then the tag match makes a little more sense because then you're building up to this thing. Although it still is BS because they've just seen you do everything the night before in the same building.
Yeah.
What can you do to impress them? You've already done it the night before.
Well, thank God they didn't do something stupid and knock get somebody knocked out or injured or some fucking crap, whatever they did.
That's just horrible. Zamir is like booking is bad everywhere lately.
It's bad.
Like everywhere.
The only people who are the WWE is doing a decent job with some key storylines.
I was going to say, Pedro,
some, yeah.
AJ Styles, squashing Killer Khan. Killer Khan.
Killer Kwan. I love that fucking guy.
AJ Styles, that's
the son of Yoshi Kwan.
Yeah, Yoshi Kwan. There you go. Killer Kwan.
Yoshi Kwan, was that Chris Champion or was that someone else? Or
yeah, it was Chris Champion.
Yeah. I mean, that was horrible booking last night with Karrion Kross getting fucking jobbed out like that, squashed.
Yeah. I don't want
bad booking.
I don't want anyone to have injuries, Brian Bell, but and the last time Moxley went out was for like alcoholism, so I don't want him to go through that either.
Yeah.
He just needs a break or something. I don't know. He's fine. What am I saying? They're doing fine. They're making money doing anything.
He's replacing alcohol with fucking blood matches. He has to blade every single match to get that same feeling.
I mean, that's
the best part about that match with Desperado and Jun Kasai from a couple years ago was Despi's mask for that match was half his mask and half Doki.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
So of course he got his face bloodied and the mask ripped off by the end.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I gotta get going in a little bit here, but
oh shit, it's
almost 1 o'clock. I didn't realize it was late.
Yeah, we gotta get James to his meds.
Yeah,
I gotta shoot up. I gotta inject myself. Yeah.
Gotta shoot up early.
I gotta shoot up. I gotta wrap that belt around my chest and just shooty.
Gotta shoot up.
I want to shoot up, pass out, and dream about Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh my God.
She won the belt and new Gym House champion Raquel Gonzalez.
Okay. Besides that, what Gym House productions are hitting the airwaves?
Oh my God! Unfortunately, I have one more live event coming through just because I got to start getting ready for surgery.
Yeah.
So I'll be on the airways live on Real House Radio and Mixcloud Live next Wednesday. I'll be doing it live for 2 hours, kicking ass. and then after that, I'm shutting everything down. So it's all about getting ready.
You're gonna get into your sensory deprivation tank and heal up and.
Pretty much. I mean, I've been doing. I mean, come on, for Christ's sake, I'm drinking low sodium V8 as we do the show. That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, good for you though, buddy. We're proud of you.
No beer, no pizza, no nothing. So there you go.
Zeus, what you got going on?
I mean, working on finishing this comic. I just
it's coming out good, by the way. It's coming out
polishing
good.
up the pencils on this page 21 here, and then I'm going to start laying the ink down today on that, and then 21, cool. And then I got to go back and do that one splash page, and then all the little doodads and things, and then drop the photos in and color it, and then put the word balloons in and put it into InDesign so I can finish it up and then start selling it.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
And get it translated.
Oh yeah. A bunch of languages. Yeah.
I got some help from some great friends.
Fucking loose translate shit. Come on, man. You do an LTS version. But in reverse, he'll translate it to Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're shooting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go. We're gonna have a Spanish version and Japanese, and I should be able to print it backwards. Should be able to print it completely backwards. So
let me know when it's all put together and all done and ready to go. Yeah. I'm ready to get a couple copies for myself. Shit.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have stickers and things to go along with it.
Now you're making sense. Yeah. Like a deluxe package. There you go.
And like I'll be able to. I can do holofoil.
Ooh, for the Steelbook. It's gonna be Steelbook Zeus.
Steelbook Zeus.
Yeah, you know how we did the holofoil effect for the praying mantis.
Yeah.
On our STEM machine, I can use that on cards.
Steelbook Zeus.
Yeah,
let's do it.
So, well, hey,
and then Pedro's got 2 more shows this week. He's going to be
Wednesday is Primetime Jams. Friday is the Friday Night Jams. We'll be in Wink Wink, Chicago.
Going to be in fake Chicago.
You're going to be at the UIC Pavilion?
Well, he's not going to be performing at a Walmart.
He's going to be at Jerry Toofy's ice cream parlor.
But the usual stuff. Everyone take care. Brian Bell, thanks for hanging out.
Brian Bell, baby.
Everyone have a great weekend and a great week ahead, and we'll catch you all next weekend, God willing, and adios.
Yo, see ya.